Greetings, this is how to use the bash terminal, basics on the bash terminal. We're going to do a few different things. What you would see in normal sort of instructional, sort of educational videos. I've got a Raspberry Pi here. So these terminal commands will apply to Apple, they'll apply to any Unix based like Linux, anything like that. They will apply to Git bash. About maybe 99% of the commands will apply to Git bash in Windows. But potentially some of the commands, especially the first ones I go through, particularly the first ones, may vary a little bit. I'm not actually sure. I do use Git bash, but I tend to use the GUI, so I don't use it as much. So I do know most of these commands will apply. Let's get straight into it. So how do we open a terminal if we're just at the window? We don't want to use the mouse because we want to be, superstars, so we want to use the keyboard. To do that, we do Control-Alt-T. That's Control-Alt-T. So we press Control-Alt-T and then up pops the window. So there's your window there. And we can get rid of the window by typing exit. Exit in the window, press enter, boom, and then away goes the window. So to bring it up, it's Control-Alt-T. So we've got a window there. We can get rid of it with EXIT, exit, away it goes. So this is fun, isn't it? It's like when your kid first discovers a light switch and plays with it on and off. So it's Control-Alt-T. But repetition is good. Repetition is how you learn. And then exit. Control-Alt-T. So Control-Alt-T, we've got the window now. Now, we've got you can see the little $sign, which is where you type. So let's do some basic commands. So I suppose the first thing would be, let's find out where we are in the tree structure, in the structure of documents and files. So we do PWD. It's PWD, print working directory. PWD will tell us where we are. So PWD. So it displays /home/pi, which means we're inside of the home file in a file called pi. So we can go forwards or we can go backwards. So let's go backwards. So it's /home/pi, which means behind us, so above us, whatever you want to call it, is home. So how do we go to home? We do change directory, CD, change directory, but we want to go backwards, so we're going ... So CD spacebar ... That's CD spacebar ... If you want to go backwards one, it's CD spacebar ... So press enter. Now we do PWD. And look, it says /home, and the pi's gone because now that's in front of us. We're actually I think we're pretty much as far back as we're going to be able to get. We're at home. You can go further back, but let's just not go crazy here. Let's go crazy. CD spacebar ... Now let's do PWD. Now there's just a /. Let's list LS. That'll show us what's here, and you can see there's a bunch of things that are here, including directories. Sorry, I don't know. I lost the word. That word exited my brain. Directories. So there's a bunch of directories. You can see the home one should be there. Yeah, the third one in there is home. That's where we want to be. So let's go back home. So we're too far back now. We're going a bit crazy here. So let's go CD. So change directory and then space home. CD space home, enter. Now we do PWD to see where we are, and it's /home. Okay, let's do list, LS, again, list, and you can see it's pi. It's got one directory called pi. So let's go to that directory. So CD pi, change directory, pi, CD space pi. So CD space pi put us forward into that directory. So let's print working directory and see that we're there. So it says /home/pi, which means we've now gone from the home one into the pi one, forwards into the pi one. Now, this page is getting a bit cluttered here, and I'm running out of room. So how do we get rid of all the contents there? We do CLEAR, we do clear, we type clear, and if we enter that, it's all gone. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of other commands as far as you can turn the computer off or you can reboot it. So to do that, you need sudo. So sudo, which means super user do. It allows you to do commands you wouldn't normally be able to do as just a normal user. It lets you do administrative things that you cannot normally do. So sudo Sudo is used a lot when you're downloading programs and stuff like that. You use sudo spacebar halt, H-A-L-T, halt, sudo spacebar halt. That means turn it off, halt, turn this computer off, halt, sudo halt. So if I press enter now, it'll be game over, the computer will shut down, so let's not do that. Another command besides sudo halt is sudo reboot, R-E-B-O-O-T, so sudo reboot. Now if I press enter here, it will turn the computer off and then turn it back on again. It will reboot the system. So that's another command. I'm not going to do that because it'll be game over. It won't really be game over, but it will take ages to get back to here again. So let's do some more stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you something else. So let's do print working directory so we can remember where we are. Okay, we're in Pi, right? So there's going to be directories and files in front of us potentially. So let's list those, ls. And you can see there's a lot of files and a lot of documents and a lot of directories. So the purple ones are the directories. So the purple ones, we can go into them, and there might be more directories inside those, or there might be files inside there. So you can go inside there. You can change the character of list. So you can change what list does. So that was a bad way to word it, but what I'm saying is you can add things to list to change its behavior. So ls space -a. So ls -a with a space between it, ls space -a. That will find any hidden files. So that might start with a full stop. So you get hidden files that begin with a full stop. That will show us any of those. And we can see we've got those. See, we've got the bash history, bash logout, bash profile, bash RC. All those ones, even the purple ones, we've got .config at the top there, we've got .cache. They're all hidden when we list all the things that we want to use. So we can see all the hidden ones there, so that's pretty interesting. I'm going to do clear again because it's getting a bit busy here. Now we can do other things with list. We can do ls -t, again with a space between it, -t, ls-t. That tells us the time that each one of these was last modified. So it just gives it in order of which one was last modified when, etc. We can do long, ls long, so ls-l, ls-l, ls spacebar -l, ls spacebar -l. I like to be a broken record, it's the best way to learn. We press enter, and now it gives us more information on each directory or whatever's in there. It gives us more information. You can see it's given us dates and all that kind of stuff. So basically it's the long version of each directory and each file. It gives us more information on each file. We don't really need to know what that information is at the moment because we're just doing the basics, but you can get that information. You can also do them all together. So if you do ls space dash and then any combination you like, A, there was an L and there was a T, so you can do any combination. I'm going to do ALT, why not? Enter, it does all of those commands. It gives us the hidden directories, it gives us the time they were last modified, and it also gives us the long version of each one. So that's what that does. So you can do them all in one if you really want to. I thought in this video I would have some fun. I've got Visual Studio Code downloaded so we can do coding. So I want to sort of show you how we can create a file with some like HTML file, a CSS file, a Python file, so that we can start coding and we can do it from the terminal because that's a bit of fun. So let's do a few more things first. So we've got list, okay? So we've got list and we can see that we've got a few directories there. If we want to make another directory, so a directory holds files. So it's like a filing cabinet. We do mkdir, make directory, space, and then whatever the name of the directory is. So test, T-E-S-T will be the name. We're going to make a directory called test. Enter. Now we list ls, and then we can see that the second last directory here is called test. We can also We can either move there by doing cd test and changing directory and going in there, and then we can put a file in there if you like. But we can also put a file from here. We don't actually have to go there. The way we do that is we use the touch command, T-O-U-C-H, touch. Touch is the command when you want to make a file. So not a container, not a filing cabinet. You want to make the actual file itself, so like text or whatever you want to do. So touch, and we're going to call it, we'll call that one test, T-E-S-T, but we're going to put txt.txt. So it's test.txt. That's what we're calling this file. Enter. Now, if we list, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to show us everything that we've got. Yes, it did. Why did it do that? Oh, I know why. Okay. So sorry, I made a mistake. I'm not the type of person to stop the video and start again. I don't care. It's fine to make mistakes. That's what everyone does. We're happy to do that. This is an opportunity now to delete it. So we list it. We've got that. We've made a mistake, which is good. So we can show you how to delete it. So you can see in purple, there's all the directories there. And then you can see the second last item is a file, test.txt. Test.txt, that file there. That was a mistake, so I want to remove that. So I do rm. Now, I do a space bar and then I type in the name. So test.txt. Enter. Now we list again and it's gone. So rm space and then the name of the file. Rm for remove, rm space and then the name of the file. That's how you remove. The way you remove directories is you do, because let's try it on a directory. So remember we did the test one, so rm space test. You cannot remove it, it says, because it's a directory. So we need a different command. We need rmdir, remove directory. So rmdir space and then the name of the directory. So it's rmdir to remove a directory. It will not remove a directory if the directory's got other stuff in it. If it have files in it, it will say, no, sorry, this directory is full. So if you want to get rid of a directory that's got stuff in it, you want to get rid of directory and all the stuff in it, which be careful, don't delete stuff that you cannot undo. So when you're deleting, just be really careful with this. rm space dash capital R for recursive. rm space dash capital R space and then the name of the directory. So rm space dash capital R space name of the directory. That will get rid of the directory that's got stuff in it, that has got lots of stuff in it. So that's how you do that. Okay, so I'm not going to bother removing it. Let's try and do what we did before. So we're going to do touch, T-O-U-C-H, touch. We're going to call it test. This one is called test with a capital T. .txt. Now we did that before, didn't we? And what happened? We created a file in this directory. But what I want to do is I want to put it in the test directory. So how do we do that? Okay, so we don't do it that way. Let's backspace. So we do touch. We do the name of the directory first. Test, T-E-S-T, / and then the name of the file, test.txt. So let's have a closer look at that. So we've put touch, T-O-U-C-H, space test, T-E-S-T, which is the name of the directory. So we'll put touch, space directory name, / and then the name of the file. So that will actually place a file inside the test directory without us even moving to the test directory. So let's press enter. Now, let's list now and it won't be there, okay? No, it's not there. Now let's do a few more commands. There's a couple of ways to view this file. Obviously we can do cd, so change directory, go to test, then list ls, and there is our file there. Let's not do that though, let's go back. cd cd space ... will send us backwards. So let's do pwd, print working directory, make sure we've gone backwards. Yes, we're still in Pi, we're back in Pi. ls, list. So we can see the second last directory is the test one. So we can list whatever's inside that test directory by doing ls space test, so the name of the directory. So you do ls and then the name of the directory. And it shows you what's inside that directory without even going there. So we did ls space test, which is the name of the directory, and you can see that it's displayed test.txt, which is the name of the file. Okay, so let's have a bit of fun. I'm going to do list. Okay, we can see desktop there. See at the top there, second row, desktop. There's a desktop directory. So anything I put on there will appear on the desktop. Let's see, let's watch. We can kind of see the desktop, can we? Yeah. Let's move it a bit. Yep, you can see there. I'm just doing it old school. I'm not bothering with the screen recording because I'm just doing a nice simple setup here. Okay, so we're going to put something on the desktop. So let's put a directory on the desktop. So let's do make directory, mkdir space desktop, desktop. So that means we're going to put a directory inside the desktop directory, and we're going to call it let's call it project X. That sounds pretty cool. Enter. Look at that. Boom! On the desktop popped a directory there called project X. We did makedir, mkdir, mkdir. So it's mkdir. The way you make a directory is mkdir. The way you make a file is touch, Touch. So if you want to make a file, it's touch. If you want to make a directory, it's mkdir. And then the name of the directory. Or if you do touch, you do the name of the file. You can put files and directories inside of other directories by doing mkdir space name of the directory you want to put the contents inside, / and then the name of the directory you're making. Or if it's in the case of a file, the name of the file that you're creating. Okay, so that's how you do that. So let's list print working directory. We'll find out where we are. Yeah, we're still in Pi, so that means underneath us we've got the desktop document, directory. So, and I know inside that we've also got a directory called project X. So I think it'd be nice to change directory, cd desktop. So now we're at the desktop. We're inside the desktop. Might clear it for a bit of fun. Now let's list this. So project X is the only thing that appears. It's the only thing on our desktop besides the trash, which doesn't appear because it's not a directory. So project X is the only thing that appears. You know what? I might see if there's any hidden stuff too. So ls space -a. Okay, there's dot and dot dot. I don't actually know what that is at the moment. Clear. Okay, so now let's put some stuff inside project X. Let's do some coding files so we can start coding. So let's do an HTML file. So a file would be touch, not makedir, it's touch. We're going to do that inside project X / index.html. So we're telling the terminal touch, which is create a file inside of project X. So we've written touch project X / and then the name of the file, which is index.html. So enter. So let's now list what's inside. So list, now remember we're in the desktop, so we can't just list items. If we list items, it's just going to say project X. So we need to ls, so we list and then write project X. And now we can see inside of project X, there is a file there called index.html. Let's also do a CSS file. So let's go touch project X / style.css. Enter. Now let's list ls what's inside project X. So list project X, ls project X. And now we can see there's two files in there. There's an HTML file and there's a CSS file, which are blank, which are obviously just new files with nothing on them. Let's also put a Python one in there just for a bit of fun. So touch project X / Python .py, which is what Python files end in. Enter. So we're going to list project X, so ls project X to see what's inside, so ls project X. And now we've got 3 files, index.html. So HTML files end in .html, so that's an HTML file. Python files end in .py, so we've got python.py, so there's a blank Python file in there. Then we've got style, another file called style.css, so that's all CSS ends in .css, so that's a CSS file. Now, there's also a command, a nice powerful command with Visual Studio Code called code. You simply type code and then whatever you want to open. So I'm going to do code index. No. Code project X. So we'll work on project X, okay? Code project X. We can do that because we're in there, it's underneath us, so let's press enter. Now, it'll take a little while, but it should. Yes, here we go. Look, bang. It's opened up project X, and it's allowing us to start coding with HTML, CSS, and Python inside of Visual Studio Code. So literally, we can start building a website right now. If we start opening that HTML and start typing away with HTML, we'll be able to make a website immediately. So that's the gist of how to get around the terminal and how to start coding. You can create files, etc., etc. That's got the skeletons come out. Look at that, the skeleton of the HTML automatically comes out. That's good too. So it's got the doc type, it's got the HTML tags, it's got the language, so lang equals en, which is inside the top HTML tag. It's got the 2 head tags, and then underneath that the 2 body tags. It's got some meta. It's got inside the head tags, you've got separate single tags, which is like meta with the character set, so char set, and they've set that to UTF-8. They've got another one called meta, which is http-equiv equals x UA compatible, and then content equals IE equals edge. Then we've got meta, another one, meta name equals viewport, content equals width equals device width, dash initial, oh sorry, not dash, what do you call that, comma, initial dash scale equals 1. So this is all, when you're building a website, this is all kind of stock stuff so that when it goes on over into the internet, there's a lot of parameters in place that's going to help the website function better on the internet. So that's all there. So that's good. Visual Studio Code is a nice thing to use. So I think that's all for today. So I think what we do now is we exit and say thank you very much. See you next time.